Hello! I did a video earlier in reply to Graham's video, but I've been watching BBC4 for 2 hours about the rock group Queen and the demise of the brilliant lead singer Freddie Mercury, whose family still live here in Nottingham. His father, Freddie Mercury's father, died in the nursing home where my late brother was. And he got a very loud booming voice. It's obvious where Freddie Mercury got his great voice from. Kept shouting for the nurse, and I went to him one day because I used to go down there to feed my brother, because my brother's fingers dropped off, the gangrene, they turned black, and I had to feed him. And I went to see Bomi, who was Freddie Mercury's father. He was shouting for the nurse, and my brother says, "Shut up!" I said, "Leave him alone, poor man." And I said, "What's the matter, mate?" He says, "Would you get me a glass of water, please?" So I said, "Yeah, of course." And I got, what was his surname, Bulsara, weren't it? Yeah, I got him a glass of water, and he held me hand. He said, "Thank you." He said, "My son used to be a famous rock star." I said, "Yeah, I know, he was one of the best." He says, "Thank you." And shortly after that he died in the nursing home. My niece, my oldest brother's daughter Tracy, worked there. She sat with him that night he died, and I was surprised that no one from his family came down and sat with him on the night he died. His wife used to come down, the chauffeur driven that little Indian woman, and his brother, I think he had a sister as well, but the old man died alone in the nursing home. But anyway, I've been watching the programme for 2 hours, and they were a great group. Freddie Mercury, well, he was amazing. Campers were tents, of course, and he could hold any audience in the palm of his hand. He was a great showman, extrovert. But anyway, Graham, what a fucking piss artist you are. Eh? But, you know, this thing about bad language, well, I've been into it before. I said, you know, lorry drivers, some lorry drivers can be the most boring people on this earth. Sit in transport cafes talking about work, where they've been, where they're going, what they've driven. Then I used to come along and start talking about the paranormal and UFOs, and used to sort of look left or right and think, who the fucking hell's this? Or, you know, who's this cunt? And then ignore me and go back to talking about work. Well, you know, I tried to change the conversation. I don't know why I bothered. Boring, boring, boring. But I like to think I'm not boring. What fag shall I have? I think I'll have one of these. Yeah, and not only lorry drivers, truckers, or as they say in America, truckers, manual workers, labourers. Graham was a manual worker, and you know, bad language is just part of everyday language. You know, hello you fucking tosser, fuck off. And I'm afraid, if anybody don't like my language, well, you know, then you'll have to drop me. You know, I can understand some people may find my language the same as Graham's language pretty bad, but if you don't like it, I could say piece of fuck yourself. But you know, just drop me. Yeah, because I can't change. Cannot change the habits of a lifetime. Anyway, next time I do a video, my hair will be cut, but I'm not having it cut too short. No, I like long hair, but it's got to be thinned out, or the split ends taken off. And so, just a short video. I haven't looked at YouTube now for, what's that? Probably where the arrow is. Yeah, it is. I haven't looked at YouTube all night. Sam, you sent me a link to one of your videos. I'll check it out, mate. But that's it, I've been watching the telly. But of course, my telly sound comes through the hi-fi. I turn the speakers off, obviously, and listen through my powerful headphones, because Queen had a very powerful sound. The rock group Queen, they conquered America until that I Want to Break Free, where they dressed up as women, and of course the Americans can be very staid. I'm rather surprised, you know. It was a skit actually on soap here, Coronation Street, and they dressed up like the old characters, but the Americans didn't like it, and they lost the American market because they dressed up as women, or they dressed up in drag. Yeah, that's Americans for you. Here, you know, we just accept everybody. So as far as language is concerned, part of everyday life it is. Now I've got a lot to do before I go to bed. The weather's turning colder, the barometric pressure is dropping as this low pressure area moves in. But if our weather's bad, well, America, oh God, they've got a major storm system which should be up in Siberia, and it's come down into Central America. Very heavy snow in places. Yeah. I shall be doing, yeah, that webcam, you know, I shall be doing videos using the system I'm using now. I've got a mirror behind the camera, so I know I'm on, I know that I am on camera, and I'm not talking away, and I'm not in the middle. That webcam on the top is fine, you know, it works fine on Windows Live Messenger. If I contact my Chinese friends in Beijing, it's fine, it's working fine. It just won't work for YouTube on Windows 8. But anyway, I've been a bit stressed this evening because Andrew at last has got rid of his Oriental lady friend, and I said, well, she's going to come round here. He says, well, what can I do? Tell me. He said, you selfish bastard. I said, don't you call me a selfish bastard. It's you that pick these fucking women up, and then you're going to dump her, and she's going to be around on my doorstep. And what am I supposed to say to her? Well, she came round here, and I said, look, it's over, it's finished. You've had a good time with him, you've cleared him out of money, he's now in debt, so just leave it. Just forget him and get on with your life. But Arthur, I says, no. Phone this, I says, no. I'm sorry, Jess, just fuck off. She walked away and I shut the door. And it's all right him calling me a selfish bastard. I mean, oh dear, I really don't need this. And my chemist friend, my chemist friends, I upset them. Swore and put an end of the call, preaching to me about walking, despite the fact my feet are bad. I've got damaged nerve endings in my feet caused by diabetes, and so I've had a bit of stress today. But you know, I've got over it, yeah. And carry on as you are, Graham, the same as I should carry on as I am. And that's about it. I'll upload this. I've got to do my farm on Farmville, but I'm going to leave it till the morning. Fuck it. I've had enough tonight. Of course, I watched the Countryfile programme, wanted to see the weather for the week. No, fatal. I sat on the sofa, put my feet up on this computer chair, and that was it. I woke up just as the programme finished. I couldn't fall asleep, even though I've had a bit of stress. I can still fall asleep on a clothesline, or at the drop of a hat. Yeah, so, you know, I can cope, but I do get stressed. I can't, come on, say it. I can get ratty, and I'm reading the numbers out tomorrow for bingo again, tomorrow afternoon. And I went in the butcher shop last week. I said, what have I ordered this week? 4 cottage pies and a steak pie with 5 large gravies, right? Gail says, okay Arthur, we understand your instructions. I do tend to bark at people sometimes. Andrew said, Dad and my daughter, the way you speak to people at times, you bark at them. I said, well, that's just me. I can't change. She says, you've got to change. I said, I can't. I'm 73, and I can't change the habits of a lifetime. I know I bark at people sometimes, and I do not suffer fools gladly. But generally speaking, you know, I'm harmless enough. My bark is worse than my bite. In fact, I haven't got a bite. No, I'm just a mouthy bastard. What else has happened today? Not a lot. No. So looking forward to Easter, when I can get away from here, get away from Nottingham, get away from the family, and see David down there. I must go see the friends I've got at Falmouth, friends at St Ives. So it'd just be great to get away from here. I want another one. I want another one of them Nissan Qashqai cars with the built-in sat-nav, which warns you when you're coming up to speed cameras. But they may possibly give me a Vauxhall Insignia. They can't promise that they can give me a particular car on that day. A car in the same group, so it could be a Nissan, or it could even be the Vauxhall Insignia, which is bigger than the Qashqai. And I've had them before, and they're quite economical once you get them in 6th gear on the motorway, and it's motorway all the way down from here. And I can get down there on very little fuel, because diesel engines are more economical than petrol engines, aren't they? Right, aren't they? So that's it. I'm going. I've got a lot to do. I can't spare any more time, so all of you can fuck off. Right? Bye.